Welcome to Top 30. I'm Richard Bacon.
And I'm Kristen Smith. And here are your top 30 stories in 30 minutes.
We're in the heart of tax season, and there are some financial documents you should keep longer than others. Experts say the best way is to divide everything into 3 categories. Those are papers you need to keep for a year or less, things to keep for a year or more, and things you should keep for 7 years. Things to keep for less than a year include ATM, bank deposit, and credit card receipts. Those should be shredded after you reconcile your monthly statement. Now for things you want to save for at least a year, keep all loan documents until the loan is paid off. Also make sure to keep any stock or investment purchase confirmations until you sell them. And you should keep your tax returns for 7 years. That's because the government has 6 years to collect the tax or start legal proceedings. Experts say to keep electronic and paper returns for 7 years just to be safe. If you have any questions, it's better to ask a professional rather than get rid of a document that you may need later.
Cell phones are ruining our vacations. People spend so much time with their head in their phone that they aren't enjoying their surroundings or spending quality time with their family when they get away. In fact, a recent study from Baylor University found 60% of college students think they might be addicted to their phone. But there are some ways to cut back on your screen addiction. The first way is, ironically, through an app. The same apps designed to prevent distracted driving, like AT&T's Drive Mode, can also help prevent distracted vacationing. Second, set Do Not Disturb hours on your phone to ensure notifications don't take you away from your vacay activities. And third, check to see if your hotel has a digital detox package. They'll take the TV out of your room and replace it with books and board games. So next time you're on vacation, consider taking a break from your phone as well.
Time now for today's Health Roundup. New research shows that part of your brain responsible for learning and memory stops producing new cells at age 13. The study was published in the scientific journal Nature and claims that area of the brain is mostly generated during a very young age. This contradicts previous studies which say new cells are produced well into adulthood. Researchers not affiliated with this study say these findings would have to be confirmed with more tests. You may want to get a cup of tea if you're trying to be creative. Scientists looked at the effect on people who drank tea and found it increased creative brain power and helped put people in a good mood. The study was conducted at Peking University and published in the journal Food Quality and Preference. The experiment only involved 50 students, and researchers admitted a bigger sample size would be needed to get more information. And cycling may be the key to helping your immune system stay young. Doctors studied seniors who were avid bikers and compared them with non-cyclists of all ages. They found the cyclists were able to keep muscle mass and strength and also had good levels of body fat and cholesterol. Not only that, the effects were also seen in the overall immune system, with the cyclists producing as many immune cells as younger non-cyclists. Previous studies show cycling is also good for mental health, and that is today's Health Roundup.
A new hotel is one of the most remote in the world. The Sheldon Chalet is in the middle of Alaska's Denali National Park. It's on an exposed hill surrounded by a glacier, 6,000 feet above sea level. It's not easy to get there. After flying to Anchorage, guests need to drive 2 hours to the small town of Talkeetna, then get in a helicopter and fly another hour. It's also not cheap. Rates begin at $2,300 per night, but that includes food and beverage as well as perks. Guests can sip champagne while gazing up at the Aurora Borealis. The rooms offer a panoramic view of the Alaskan mountains. What it doesn't have is cell phone coverage or internet service. The hotel's owners say it contributes to luxurious disconnecting. During Aurora season from mid-September to early March, guests can snowshoe and take tours by ski or helicopter. In adventure season from March through July, there's fishing, rappelling, and glacier trekking. But the hotel might book up fast. It can only accommodate 10 people.
Welcome back to Top 30. There is a body positive movement going on in fashion with an inclusion of models with more body types, and now that movement is making its way to some popular clothing stores. Kristen, what's happening?
Yeah, this is exciting because they're calling it real girl mannequins. And so, you know how mannequins are like yay big in the stores? Well, now they're gonna be a little curvier with some may even have stretch marks and skin conditions, be different sizes, different races.
Okay, no, it sounds like, look, it's a nice idea.
Yes.
But do you remember a few years ago, a lot of fashion brands were saying, right, we're not gonna use size 0 models anymore, we're gonna use bigger models. That didn't really last very long, did it? You know, I mean, go look at the posters for female fashion.
Oh, you're right.
They're all super skinny again. And it's like a nice idea and we all get behind it and it gets some PR. And then my guess is in a couple of years, this will have all gone away.
Well, but there are some pretty big names attached to this. I mean, Saks Fifth Avenue, Lord & Taylor, Nordstrom.
And it makes sense in the sense that you can go, right, that is actually what my body size is. So that is what that dress would look like if I were to put it on.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to put a dress on, but you get my point.
I totally get your point. Now to a story that most parents may secretly agree with, but may not admit publicly. Okay, a new study found 23% of parents had a favorite child. More than half said it was their youngest child. So, Richard, you have an oldest and a youngest. Is this true?
Well, my mum very much publicly admits that I'm her favourite child, and I've got 2 younger sisters. And they're so much nicer to her than I am. I don't have a favourite because Arthur, the 6-year-old, is just such a sort of gentle child, and Ivy is more showy.
Yeah.
But, you know, I like him because he's kind of vulnerable, and then Ivy because she's just sort of entertaining. And I don't have a favourite, but I can say this: if we had a third, I would want it to be a girl.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not quite the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite?
I can't imagine having a favorite, and I am completely honest. I mean, this is a no judgment zone here, but I can't imagine. Both my kids love multiplies. It doesn't divide. I will say that I am my dad's favorite, and I have 3 siblings.
Yeah.
He doesn't admit that, but I can tell. This is based on the favorite is usually the easiest child, the funniest child, and the most affectionate child. So.
Yeah, but no, I want if I have another child, another girl, I don't want another me. Let's talk about the secret of marriage.
Okay.
Get some insight from a couple that just celebrated their 74th wedding anniversary.
So
a 99-year-old woman surprised her 98-year-old husband with a vow renewal ceremony.
Will you marry me?
It's a beautiful thing.
Aw, so sweet. I love that so much. Makes me want to renew my vows. This couple is so adorable, you guys, because they met, like me and my husband, at church.
Oh, yeah.
They met at a church dance. She was actually dancing with another guy, and the husband's like, I'm gonna marry that girl over there. And he did. So romantic. They did give us the secrets to a happy marriage, if you're interested in those.
Tell me, Kristen, what are they?
So her key to a long, successful marriage is do what's right and help others.
Good.
His key, get to the dance on time and don't lie.
Welcome back. Americans spend more on healthcare than many other countries, but a new study says it's not improving their health. In a single year, Americans spent over $9,000 per capita on health, compared to about $5,400 in other countries. But researchers from Harvard found that life expectancy in the US is lower than many other developed countries. To put it another way, as this headline rather simply puts it, Americans spend more money on healthcare to live shorter lives.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That happens.
And it's so interesting that they spend the most on healthcare, but perform the worst on a lot of measures. Just the numbers, to throw a couple numbers out there, life expectancy of 78.8 years was lower than the average of 81.7 years.
I mean, you are spending so much, 18% of GDP, whereas in places like the United Kingdom, Finland, the Netherlands, it's 10 to 12% of GDP. That is just a dramatic difference.
It is.
It's just locked in an impossibly complex logistical system.
You know, there's this great quote, one of the authors of this study, and she says, as the U.S. continues to struggle with high healthcare spending, it is critical we make progress on curtailing these costs. So we get it. Something needs to be done. Well, let's move on and talk about this story. Workers in the fast food industry are turning over faster than ever. MIT found the staff turnover rate was about 150%. Researchers think it could be because of new technology, and this technology makes those jobs more complicated. And by technology, I'm not talking about the robots. I'm talking about mobile apps, the self-ordering kiosks, the new delivery systems. They add steps for workers and could make these wait times longer.
I find it annoying as a customer, from the customer side. It sounds like it's annoying from the staff side.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's winning.
I like the self kiosk.
Oh, do you?
Because I can get through faster. You know, that's what we're talking about here. In the drive-through, the technology has the reverse effect, and it's actually taking longer.
Slowing it down.
Yeah, you are waiting 30 seconds longer for your order at McDonald's this year than before all the technology upgrades started.
Yeah, that is quite interesting.
I can wait 30 seconds.
I mean, this doesn't sound like it's not a devastating fact.
It's not.
You know, you think of some of the numbers we just read out about healthcare. I think we'll probably live with this one.
I know, right?
I was a teenage employee at McDonald's. I got a job there when I was 16. So the regular meat, which is the meat you get in Big Macs and hamburgers, goes from frozen to fully cooked in 42 to 44 seconds, which I still think is a gripping piece of information.
I was your rival, by the way. I worked at Burger King when I was 15.
How long did their meat take to go from frozen to cooked?
You know, I don't remember.
Because you didn't pay attention, Kristen. Think of it this way. You can cook meat in McDonald's faster than this ad break lasts. Top 30 will be right back.
In today's Hometown Stories from Fox 10 Phoenix, the mentor program at Arizonans for Children is making a difference, pairing volunteers with school-aged children in foster care. One volunteer is Derek Harriman, a former Marine who started mentoring 6 months ago. Not only has he helped his 12-year-old mentee work through anger issues, but now the child also has hopes for college.
100% of the kids that have a mentor in their life, their grades improve, their attendance improves, their behavior improves, but really, truly, most importantly, their self-esteem and self-worth improve.
Our next story from Fox 35 Orlando. Diagnosed with celiac disease 10 years ago, Robin Hoffman started developing recipes for delicious desserts she could enjoy. Recently, she's decided to turn her passion for gluten-free baking into a career, raising funds on Indiegogo to start her bakery, Hoffy's Heart. And it's a business with a mission dedicated to hiring people with autism.
I want people to see how functional, how capable, and how important these individuals are.
Our final story from Fox 2 Detroit. The Randolph Career and Technical Center is preparing students for a career in the construction business. Kids from 13 Detroit high schools visit every day for hands-on experience. And now the program Detroit at Work has opened up the school to adults looking to gain employment in a new field. Like Maya Sanders, a college grad who was having trouble finding a job. She's getting training to become an electrician. And thanks to this federally funded program, she's getting the training for free.
You are more apt to change an unhealthy habit if you hear it from your doctor. So here we go. Reader's Digest compiled a list of bad health habits that doctors say you need to stop immediately. For example, carrying a heavy bag or purse on one shoulder disturbs the angle of your neck and puts pressure on the nerves to your arm. And it's even worse if you always use the same shoulder. So at the very least, switch it up. Biting your nails is a nervous habit for a lot of people, but doctors warn it can cause infection to the skin around the nail, which can cause an upper respiratory infection. You might not think chewing gum is a bad habit, but doctors say if you do it too much, you could be putting too much pressure on your jaw, and that could result in arthritis, clicking, and pain. That story makes me nervous, which is why I'm now going to bite my nails.
The internet went crazy over a lion and a dog that appeared to shake hands in a video. The footage of Mika the lion and Camilla the dog captured the furry friends as they appear to shake paws. At the end, it even looks like Mika kisses Camilla's paw. So adorable. The pair of unlikely friends live together at the Black Jaguar White Tiger Foundation, a nonprofit animal rescue based in Mexico that houses large cats and other wildlife. In 2016, Black Jaguar White Tiger Foundation rescued Mika from an apartment where he was kept as an illegal pet. Camilla had been living there with him, and the two were very close, so close that the rescue took her in too. The video highlights the sort of special bond that really resonates with people, no matter who you are. Danielle Knox from Fox 35 Orlando brings you what you need to know today. Hey, Danielle.
Hi there, Kristen. That's right. To make up or not make up, well, it depends on where you live. Apparently, researchers at a Scotland university asked participants to look at pictures of women wearing makeup and not wearing makeup. Participants said that women wearing more makeup had poor leadership skills and appeared less trustworthy, with a more natural look deemed more trustworthy. Now, on the flip side of that, research done in the United States had a different outcome. Participants here found that well-groomed women with more makeup, well, they were more likely to be promoted. All right, so being cheated on may actually be good for you. How, you might ask? Researchers say the person who gets cheated on goes through a period of growth after a breakup. The study also found women get over a breakup in a healthier way as opposed to men who don't deal with negative emotions, allegedly, according to the research. Allegedly. And that's what you need to know. Kristen, back to you now.
Well, I'm not going to fight you on that research. Thank you, Danielle.
The problem of plastic pollution in the world's oceans is being tackled by a sneaker company. Adidas has announced that in 2017 it sold 1 million pairs of sneakers made from plastic found in the ocean. Each sneaker uses an average of 11 plastic water bottles. They also incorporate recycled plastic in their laces, heel, and liners. It's part of a growing movement towards sustainability at Adidas. Ocean plastic is a growing problem. About 8 million tons of plastic enter the world's oceans every single year. They pollute the water, they kill animals, and they sometimes end up in the food supply when they're eaten by fish. Adidas says that by 2020, it wants all of its shoes to be made from recycled marine plastic, which as a statement and as an ambition is really quite remarkable. A creature that started as a pet has mutated and is invading ecosystems around the world. Scientists say the marble crayfish somehow evolved and forms an additional set of chromosomes that now allows females to reproduce without males, essentially cloning themselves. One crayfish can multiply into 300 in just a few months. Experts can't figure out exactly when the change happened, but have created an entirely new species for this animal, which only exists in the female form. They were once a popular pet in Europe and Madagascar, and are now taking over ecosystems there because the population has grown out of control. Here in the US, the species of crayfish has been banned because of the threat that it poses.
A recent study by the American Dental Association found that 1 in 4 adults avoid smiling due to the condition of their teeth. An alarming stat, as smiling is an easy and natural way to improve mood and overall well-being, which is why we've got today's top 30 deal. White with Style Sparkle Whitening Kit. Each kit includes a syringe filled with custom gel, custom trays, mini blue light with batteries, and shade guide. And you won't find harsh chemicals here. The delicious gel flavors are cruelty-free, gluten-free, BPA-free, and vegan. Teeth can get up to 7 shades whiter in just 1 treatment, an easy way to restore confidence in your smile. White with Style Sparkle Whitening Kit retails for as much as $270, but today you can buy it for just $39. That's about an 86% discount, and you can get this right now at top30deals.com while they last.
A new study out of the Ontario Institute for Cancer Research in Toronto, Canada, suggests air pollution triggers disease more than anything genetically passed down from your parents. Studying more than 1,000 residents in Montreal, Quebec City, and Saguenay, participants were screened for a large range of health outcomes. This included cardiovascular disease, stroke, asthma, stiffening of blood vessels, cholesterol levels, liver and lung function, and white blood cell count. Using genetic fingerprints, researchers were able to determine that air pollution was linked to illness far more than ancestry. Sulfur dioxide, in particular, was found to be the worst offender. Mercedes-Benz has unveiled a new $2 million boat, and they're calling it a supercar for the sea. The high-performance cigarette racing boat features 3,100 horsepower and reaches a top speed of 140 miles per hour. Called the 515 Project 1, engineers were able to make this boat more stable, faster, and lighter than the last one they developed, shaving off 1,300 pounds. Just 6 of them will be made this year, and you're probably thinking, who would buy a $2 million cigarette racing bow? The cigarette racing CEO says, people think that our buyer is just a Saudi prince because of the cost of the bow, but the buyer here is the same as the guy who buys high-end cars. That guy is not me.
They get down on one knee and slip a diamond band onto the ring finger of your left hand. A typical marriage proposal, right? But have you ever wondered why? Why that hand? Why that finger? The tradition dates back about 5,000 years, where some of the earliest references to a wedding ring are from ancient Egypt. But it was the Romans who believed there was a vein running from the ring finger directly connected to the heart. They called it the vein of love. So, not surprisingly, the ring would be placed on that finger during wedding ceremonies to symbolize the couple's love for each other. Well, it turns out that vein doesn't exist, but it's still a nice tradition that has stuck throughout the years.
Thank you for watching. You can catch up with past episodes of Top 30 now on Hulu. You can also download the Top 30 mobile app and visit our website. We want to hear from you, so connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Like, follow, and subscribe to @Top30TV for interviews and exclusive web content. We will see you next time on Top 30.